Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehab. I am so glad to have you back checking out what Chris and I are up to. So in today's video, yes, we have been very busy trying to get our outdoor area where we're happy with it. You know, there's always that maintenance here in Michigan when the weather gets cold and then we have snow and it freezes and then you have the spring erupts and then there's always so much to do. Nobody said owning a home would be easy, and then if you want a beautiful property to sit and enjoy, yeah, it takes some maintenance too. So we are sharing with you the process of redoing some outdoor furniture to save costs. Instead of buying new, we're going to save and repaint what we have. We're going to share the process with you all on that. And then maintaining a garden. I took down some of my other gardens. We got a fence up last year, if this is your first time checking out one of our outdoor videos. So now we're trying to maintain and get rid of other gardens as we age, and I want to be out in the pole barn making over items for you all instead of working in the gardens, even though I love to I love my hands to be in dirt. But my skin so much does not like to be in the sun. So anyway, so we'll share the process with you of what we're doing in our gardens, along with how I do my planters. And yes, I just love flowers. I love to garden as much as I paint in black and white. I sure do love colors when it comes to flowers. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Our winter project turned into a spring project. So the next piece that Chris is going to work on is our swing. And you see it has a little bit more need. So figuring out how to deal with that. And yep, we didn't get it done this winter. It was a good thought anyway. So you all know how much new outdoor furniture cost it is. It's not cheap. So if you can fix it, if you can repair it, if you can give it more life for some more years to enjoy. This is a nice sturdy swing. I think I'm going on my third canopy that I've had to buy for it. So I purchased another canopy for the top of it. We're not going to put it on until we paint it. And so Chris is actually painting these behind our workshop in front of our shed so that none of the overspray gets onto the house. So he is choosing to take the whole thing apart. Well, when we purchased it, it all was apart and he had to put it together. So yes, you can, if you have the space, you can move it out and just spray it where you need to or sand off the rust. So nope, he's going to go ahead and remove this piece by piece and sand piece by piece. So hopefully we won't have to do this again anytime soon. So we talked about Bondo and repairing those. Yeah, it's just rusted all the way through. So we could have done that, but really structurally it's not needed. So yep, he's just gonna, hey, if you got a problem sometimes you can cut it off and it doesn't cause any problems. So why not? So that's what he's going to go ahead and do, and just cut those pieces that for whatever reason rusted. Most of this furniture is aluminum, just bits and parts are rusting. It's held up pretty well, but yep, we got to deal with that rust before it starts to eat other areas through. And then just like the previous pieces of our outdoor furniture that he painted, he's going to give it a good cleaning with some crud cutter. Now that he has it all sanded, it may not be perfect, but it's going to be 100% better than it was. And then to match what he has already painted, we're still working on the same gallon of the farm implement. weather resistant, rust preventative Rust-Oleum black spray paint. Now it is a little bit on the glossy, but I think that helps that rain repels off of it. The other pieces that we did, it almost feels like a rubber coating when you first put it on, and then after it's cured, because the other pieces that we did, it's probably 2 weeks later now. Oh my, I'm loving the feeling of it. You just can tell that that paint is on there. Well, if we're going to spend the time doing our outdoor furniture, I do have pieces apart. So you all saw me do this bird bath, this glass bird bath, and repaint that. And I wanted to keep it for myself to put in my sunflower garden. And I couldn't really figure out, do I buy a new base? But I'm a thrifter. And I had this bird bath that the top of it had some birds sitting on it. It had broke it off. I tried very bad, not knowing what I know now, Gorilla Gluing it, not cleaning it properly. It never really stuck. I've had it out back behind our shed. Actually was going to just have my brother recycle it. And then, you know how you get those ideas and there's reasons that you don't get rid of things. I think that that bird bath will sit on top of this. It's going to fit just fine on there. I don't even know if I have to worry about taking that off. Just give it something to sit on. Yeah, so I'll just get the rest of this cleaned up. And this is the bucket that I had our redbud tree in, and then the bottom finally rusted. But I'm not willing to get rid of it, so I still like it. I can still put a terracotta pot or something in here, right? So I'll figure out something to do with it. So I think I used Gorilla Glue back in the day, so I don't know if it'll come. Oh, yeah, it'll come off. I just soaked it in a little water. The old Gorilla Glue definitely was not for metal. Probably if I would have saved the piece and now knew about how nice JB Weld was, I probably could have salvaged it, cleaned off so I can get it repainted. So I'm going to be using the same Farm Implements paint on these. Also, I have now collected enough that I can raise all my planters up. I like to do that, one, because we have a cement paver patio. And then with my galvanized pieces, we do poke holes in the bottom of the tub so it has drainage. So it is just nice and easy to water once you've had them up in the air. I love lifting them up, so I'm constantly looking for these plant stands or whatever they are in the thrift stores. To Home Depot, to Walmart, a Walmart grocery food pickup, and the rest is for gardening. Ooh, we got the van full today. Here's where we left off. In the last video, it was just the beginning of spring. Everything was popping up. The tulips were popping up, looking beautiful. The birds were just happy as could be. Yep, we were just starting to prep for early spring. One of the favorite features that we have that we worked so hard on was this little river with all the field stones and pebbles, and Chris worked so hard to get it to flow and then to go into a holding pond, one of those plastic liner ponds, and just get to hear that water trickling down. And the birds just absolutely love it. So do the frogs. Little animals love to come drink out of this little pond. But just recently I had stopped at an estate and picked up a new feature for our little pond. And here it is. It just needs cleaned up. It's already black. I like the chippiness, the age of it all. So I'm just going to get all the cobwebs dusted out because it's been sitting for a while and get it cleaned off. So this is definitely one of those cases where your husband needs to be, or the person that knows how to make water run out of it is all in, because that's exactly what we both had envisioned for this piece. Could he put a hose? Could he put a pump? Could he make it look like water was flowing out of that front spigot? Now for the first part of it, what he has is an outdoor tubing hose, which is made so when we have water that freezes, yeah, we need that here in Michigan. So what he's doing here is he's stringing that hose all the way through the spigot, all the way out through the bottom. This is actually our old pump that went to the little river that he created. He actually upgraded the other one so it pushes a little bit faster, so this is actually the smaller of the two. So what he needs now is he's heating up that rubber tubing to put over the top of where the suction goes in, where the water is going to be sucked in. That way it will shrink around it. Now, he already slipped one of the metal rings that you can tighten up, and so what he's doing now is just putting it over the piece of the metal and the piece of the tubing. You don't want any air flowing in or it won't flow properly. Now he needs to put it in the water and plug it in, and we will see if it works. Okay, he's plugging it in. Did y'all see that? Here it comes.
Unfortunately, this is just going to have to stay like this.
Yeah, because of the...
Okay.
That's okay. Oh, how cool is that? Oh. Yeah, so it'll just cycle the water up the hose and go back in the pond. Up the hose, go back in the pond. Just like that one does to do the river. Spread it. Yep, still working on this area, doing some more. I got some weed killer underneath. We're still moving rocks. Rocks, and yes, we do have some buds on the redbud. The redbud tree is actually, we got some greenery on it. So I don't know if it'll make those pretty flowers this year, but at least we know that it's alive and it will keep on growing. Because a lot of times the redbud trees have those really pretty pink ones here in Michigan. I don't know. We're zone 5, so I'm glad that this little sprout is growing. So, yep, I'm going to lay some more rocks, kill out that grass. Like I said, I put weed killer underneath it now. Then you can lay it on top of it, and then as long as it doesn't have sun, just like this area, if it doesn't have sun, it's not going to go. You do get a few here and there, but I preem and I do the weed killer. So, yep, okay, busy work. The rock pile's almost gone. Remember how big it was a couple weeks ago when we were moving rocks? Yep, just, it's a lot of work, but it's free landscaping. You only get paid for your time and effort, right? So it's all on the family, you know, when it comes to gardening. Yep. Most of these plants actually came from some of her flower gardens during fair. So nothing like a Mother's Day present of asking them to dig up some plants and getting rid of them. Yes, I only ever planted one of these. That's how I chose what I was going to keep. Ones that weren't so terribly needy. So, yep, time to just anything on the fence. The bulbs can stay, but the rest of it's just going to go because we're going to enjoy what's inside the fence. Look at that root balm. Oh, it's a good time to dig them up because we've had rain for a long time. Quite a few days, so it'll make the ground really easy to dig up, really soft. That's the word I'm looking for, soft. So yes, they make those beautiful flowers. They only flower every other year, but they just catch all the leaves. I only buy plants because I think they look pretty. I don't even know what these were called. Yeah, this is one of those areas I regretted laying that black tar paper, or that barrier paper underneath the flower garden because it was supposed to prevent weeds. No, dirt just builds up on it. I just find it's easier just to, kill off the grass in itself. So now this area is an area, we have some chives there that we need to move yet because of course we're going to save those yummies. And then the bulbs he can end up, after the daffodils die off, he can just mow over. So we finally found some peat moss. So hopefully it's a little spacey on our grass. You can see that's nice and green. This is the spot I'm talking about. I might have to re-treat this spot right here. That might be Japanese beetle larvae. See how it's a different color? So I'll have to treat that with that 7. So, yeah. So Chris is going to go ahead and spread some peat moss on this. And then soak it in and then plant some more seeds. See if we can get that root balm to... Peat moss. What did I call it?
Root balm.
Get that root base to grab on. So, yeah, here we go. I think we finally found some at Menards. So, yeah. So hopefully this will help toughen up what... We did have topsoil brought in, but it's just the grass seed's just not grabbing to it. So hopefully this will help. So, yep, he's just going to rake it into that area that's just being stubborn. It does not want to grow grass. But you can tell how well the Stevens worked for the grubs to kill off the moles' food supply. So they went elsewhere. So at least we didn't have to trap those little critters. So yeah, yep. Probably could have used a couple more bags, but you do space by space. So he's putting some grass seed down now, and then he'll probably get the sprinkler out because this week it's supposed to be like 80. And no, I don't know if there's supposed to be any rain, but it's still early spring, so let's see if we can get some seed growing. I probably thrifted that little spreader. Best little thrift there for this time of year. Now, yeah, we need to get a few more bags. It always looks like it's going to do a lot when you're picking it up, but yeah, we can get a couple more bags. So this was actually the following weekend. We grabbed 2 more bags because there's just something about that dark peat moss that looked like healthy dirt that automatically just made that space look 100 times better. So a couple more bags. He's going to spread those out and get some more seed going. So are you all tired yet? Oh no, a couple weekends of busyness for the both of us. So we just have to take some time to work on our yard so we can enjoy it. Now this space, when they built our workshop, Chris moved all the stone from a pool area and a raised deck patio area that had crushed concrete underneath it, load by load with a wheelbarrow. Yep. So now he's trying to fill in this space with some more of the crushed concrete to tie it all together, so when people park, it's not a muddy mess. And it's been working out real well. So every week or so, he just picks up a few bags to keep it. You could have a truckload brought in, but that's one, more expensive and a lot more work on yourself because crushed concrete does not spread very easily. So yeah, you think, okay, 5 bags, this is going to do a lot of space. No, it doesn't, but little by little, it's not as overwhelming if you just do bags at a time, and if you're happy not having a total result right at first. So when Chris was moving all the crushed concrete that was underneath a cement paver patio, we needed to move that because that's where the hot tub was going to go, and it was in the way of the fence. So, you paid for it, so you want to recycle it, but unfortunately you had to go up a hill. So this little garden cart, oh my gosh, is the best investment that hooks up to his lawn tractor, because at first he started just doing it with one of those wheelbarrows that you just keep, you have to use your own muscles to lift. So best present I ever got him. So now, yeah, this is just some compost. I finally have enough galvanized, which we'll get to that, for my flowers. So I always like to save all the dirt that I can, because this space back here needs to be filled in. This was an odd little space because this is where above ground pool was, and then I had a garden attached to that, but I need to build up some dirt because it is low. Same thing here. A week ago, I sprayed all this grass, anything I wanted to kill off, with some weed killer. And so now he's just going to do a level of peat moss in this area to help build up and richen up that soil. Now, we do have a composting area where he puts clippings out back. I could share that with you all if you're interested. Luckily, when we built our house, the excavators were like, you want a space back in these woods where you can dump compost. So he cleared us a space out. Love it. But for this area that I don't want to build up with grass and clippings, we actually bought some topsoil dirt, which is a couple dollars a bag. So very cost efficient just to even out this area. Because I'm hoping that this area I could put my sunflower garden. It's a little bit questionable. I've always had a sunflower garden. I was kind of testing out how much sun, because sunflowers love sun. So I think there is enough sun during the time here that my sunflower garden can go here, because I really am trying to keep my gardens minimal, but that is one thing that I have a passion for, is sunflowers. I'm so excited to get to have a sunflower garden. I haven't had one for a couple years, because when we built our pole barn, it was the area where my sunflower garden was. So now I usually replant my sunflower heads, and that's how I always have had sunflowers from year to year. So this year I'm doing seeds, and I think the seeds will work out just fine, because I know the little chipmunks, when they steal my bird feeder food and plant it all over our property, it grows sunflowers really well. So I'm just trying to figure out which ones are the taller ones to put in the back and which ones are the shorter ones to put out front. So now that I have my seeds all planted, my daffodils are done, and before I start laying a fresh coat of mulch, I'm going to go ahead and cut them down. You don't want to pull the greens off, because you'll pull the bulbs out. So I just go through and just cut them all off. And this is usually about the time I mulch anyway, after the daffodils are done. The tulips they're not as spread out as what my daffodils, but I will go through and cut those off too after they have bloomed and are done. And it's not funny, but I have not seen what kind of hostas I've had in so many years. Without this fence, it was like planting a salad bar for the animals. I can't even remember what hostas I bought. I always thought it was just my hostas, but no, the deer love them. And so I am so excited to see all these beautiful hostas coming up this year. And now that I have those all cut off, I will lay a fresh coat of mulch. And I know you're all surprised that it's black mulch that I use. And I usually only really mulch every other year. The black seems to blend in perfectly with the color of the topsoil. That is actually why I pick the black mulch. So my magnolia tree is in bloom. It's not one of those extremely full ones. I think there's two different species of magnolia trees, but this one does flower all year long. So very happy. I just love that early spring. Just, oh, so much fun to watch all of those happy little flowers. I got to go pick out flowers this weekend, so. I didn't take you along to every one of the flower because this is 4 different spots to find flowers that I like. I don't know what I'm always looking for. I do know the one thing that I'm always looking for is I'm always looking for a plant called, so one of these pull out. I don't know if it will pull out. So it's called lantana, and this is what the hummingbirds in our area just love. So I know I always plant that, and I was early enough because last year I was after Mother's Day and there wasn't any, the pickings were slim, and I know it was COVID, and anyway, so I was happy to be able to get the 2 colors because I enjoy the hummingbirds. So I was very happy about that. And if it wasn't for going on a Saturday, I would have videoed my cute little greenhouse that I like a lot, because they color coordinate. There's a lot of flowers that go with them, and you can mix and match, but you know, I have my matchy, and you think, nope, they're not just black and white flowers, you all. So yeah, so this was from one of the greenhouses. I just absolutely love those. I try to find a lot of things I don't have to deadhead, but that's almost impossible. And so beautiful geraniums. And then I just love these marigolds. They were beautiful. Oh my goodness. And what are these called? The chloros? You know, I slaughter names, but I do like those. I liked this color because I've had it coordinated with those. And then I can use these with these because these definitely, look at that. Sometimes I don't even know. So these are petunias. So we got some striped ones, and oh my gosh, they were just beautiful. And then look at these. Oh my gosh, you guys. Did I tell you I love this time of year because I love planting. I don't plant annuals in my gardens, but I do tons of pots on our back area. And I only actually do ferns in our front area. So, oh, these were beautiful. Now, what do we got here? Oh, that's another lantana. Oh, I had another lantana in here. I didn't even realize that we'd picked up some more lantana, which is perfectly fine. I was trying to see what this little, sometimes a daisy, I think. But I like this color. Oh my gosh. I've always seen this color, but I had not seen this color. And this was a new greenhouse we had stopped at. I'd been there before, but just, I don't know how you forget. His plants were gorgeous. That's the one I put on my story, and I showed you their geraniums. Oh my goodness, are they not gorgeous? And then he had my 2 favorite plants because my one greenhouse went out of business, unfortunately. They had 2 stores and they closed one. And I always would get mosquito, and I don't know if it really helps, but citronella and lemongrass I like to put as some greenery in some of our bigger pots. Whether it helps or not makes me feel better. I'm still amazed that I picked this up and I didn't even realize it was lantana. So yeah, and then I have, your spikes and some of your greenery, your vinca vine. And so yeah, so what I like to do is I like to go around to my pots, what I want to plant. Yep, I got those all sprayed up now. And distribute, because some of them I completely empty out and see what my game plan for planting, and then I will know what I need. So yep, I have that little area. I got a buildup of buckets going on there, and I always plant lantana underneath this pot. Always gets, because it's where my hummingbird feeder is. And then I should have mint and peppermint growing in this. It's starting to, we're a little early, it's starting to. There are some weeds that I should probably pull out, but usually this will fill up, and this is such a huge pot, I just leave it as is. Sometimes I'll repaint it. It's plastic, it's cracked, but once that grows over it, we're good to go. And you can see some of the mint kind of has grown in the rocks, but I did spray some weed killer on that. So yep, I'm going to start distributing my plants and figure out where I'm going to go from here. Okay, so I think I got things separated and how I want to put them into pots. So that's good. The bad part is we realized in the haste of our garage sale, we threw our bag of styrofoam that I used for the bottom of my pots away. So now I got to create something else or that always takes so much soil. So yeah, I'm so excited to do some pots. This is kind of a weird little area because it's really shady. So I like to put my mosquito plants there. I'm still working on getting some more aged. I guess that one doesn't really go as well as I wanted it to, but it'll be all right. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then, yeah, positive my lantana's going there, so I'll just keep on working, and I guess I'll start filling up some pots. Maybe I'll use the pots themselves to fill in the bottom, I guess, is what I'll have to do this year instead of styrofoam. I actually don't empty these pots every year from the dirt, but they were to the point where I needed fresh dirt. It was too root bound to deal with. So yep, I'm just going to go ahead and use the pots that they came in. Something, especially on the big wash tubs here, to fill in that bottom. And then look at what my father-in-law gave me. Well, he actually put them on Marketplace and we're going to sell them, but he gave them to his daughter-in-law, and I just traded him some asparagus that we had just picked up from the local farmer's market. So I think this one's seen better days. It's coming in, but it's coming in. Usually this time of year, this would all be, I think it's just too root bound now. And then I've painted it. It's cracking. It's very brittle. But I like the size of it because we can put the hummingbird feeder. I already took them down, but I can put the hummingbird feeder and the extra Oreo feeder up there. And then I want to move these down here. These are the ones I just got at that garage sale. I need to spray paint that black. Of course I thrift shepherd's hooks. So we're going to move it more right into this rock area. Very easy way to dig in. But Chris is going to go get the tool dolly to move this. I'm going to remove that. So I'm going to plant something else, since my father-in-law was so gracious. God wink moment gave me that big galvanized bucket. So yeah, we traded some asparagus from the farmer's market for a galvanized bucket. If you like asparagus, you will know that is well worth it. So so I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Chris is going to move it, and I'm going to plant something else there. So this works out perfectly. This is a week later from when I planted the first original pots. So little God wink moment there that he had a big galvanized. I was going to be done with my pots, but this one is definitely not growing. The mint and the catnip is not growing in there. The peppermint's not growing. It's too root bound. It's solid as a rock, and the more you beat on it to get the root out, the more it's just plastic, so the more it was just destroying it. So yes, I can now finish up my whole backyard, my whole planting area with galvanized. So we're actually blessed to have one. We built the shed and they excavated our property. the excavator said, hey, you'll want me to push some of these trees back so you have a composting area. Smart man, I will say. So behind our split rail fence, we are blessed enough to have a place for Chris to dump clippings that he rotates, because I do actually use it as compost and use it for things. And so yeah, so this is, and that's funny because I had to get rid of some lilies, and look at, they think they're growing back here. So yeah, I mean, it's an ucky area, but at least we have some place to put compost and put our waste in. Stuff that you hide behind your shed too. So our shed is going to be another video. We need to re-roof our house and re-roof our shed. Gotta wait for the money, of course, and then you gotta wait for the contractor that can do it, and then we've been cleaning up this area. We have a problem with critters. So last year Chris had to put that mesh wiring. Everybody likes to live underneath this black shed. So yeah, we all have those places, and I can't decide, like when we repaint the shed, if I want to get rid of all. I like the flowers, but yet again, we're older. It's on the other side of the fence. This one really, they're going to bloom soon. I think they're a type of iris. Oh, I think that's what was back there was iris. I said that wrong. But yeah, we're not back here. So I might remove that area and just keep something that doesn't spread, and that I have to, because I have to get rid of all that. So I want to play in the pole barn. So yep, anyway, so this is our shed that needs done. Every year, you know, we live in the weather, so, but I know that I have a base somewhere out here. Chris is getting ready to paint now that it's warming up and the dew is gone. And yep, this is, it's a pretty organized shed, y'all. He did a whole video when we were new to YouTube on how he did the French cleats to hang everything up. And yeah, I got stuff. So, yeah, so yes, there you go. I knew that I had another one of these to put that galvanized on. Yeah, I can't pass them up when I'm thrifting. So yes, and then if that one ends up being too short, I do have another shepherd's hook. How about you all? Do you like, oh yeah, I pick up too many of them when I'm thrifting. So yeah, I mean, you never know. You're to your gardening. You don't want to get rid of it all, because you might change your mind how you want to garden. But I think I'm good. The base is going to fit there, and that'll make that taller. Happy, happy, happy. So unlike Glenn, my 3 orange kitties do not go outside. Even if you opened up the door, they have never gone outside. Our whole neighborhood, we live in a subdivision, is full of dogs, so they have never done the outside thing. So if you're all wondering, somebody commented that those birdhouses that we put in our last outdoor video were a little bit low, but yep, they just kind of stared at us through the window. so I'm gonna do my closing right here where I did my beginning. Yes, you can hear the birds. Just, I got an oriole over there. If I can, I don't know. They always tend to fly away as soon as I start to look at them. Yes, I feed the birds, you feed the little critters. I can't help it. I love to watch them. I love to enjoy the flowers. Isn't that the same reason why we did our river? So the little birdies can come and take a bath and get a drink. And here soon, we will have frogs in our little pond too. So maybe we have just a couple more pieces done of to do of our outdoor furniture, so we can share that. We have a fire pit and a couple more odds and ends that we would like to repaint, so that way we have it all done. And yeah, so, and then I love sharing the process of how in my gardens I know I'm swinging. You can't help it when you're on a swing, you start swinging. Squirrel, sorry. So I love in my gardens to have something constantly in bloom. So I would love to share as things are blooming with you all. So give me a comment. Have you enjoyed our little outdoor series? This is the third one. I've shared how we've done our outdoor furniture, how we take care of our space, how we maintain our lawn, how we've downsized gardens. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you, or just comments of what you do to keep up your lawn, or if I've inspired you in any way. And what do you all think of my galvanized? I can't believe I finally have gotten rid of every type of pot, plastic pot, container, and I have all galvanized now. Oh, my heart is just happy. I can't even tell you that my father-in-law finished that off, giving me that galvanized. So anyway, I'll quit rambling so you can get on with your day. So thanks so much for watching today's video. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out our channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.